health and lifestyle. My name is Nicole and I have Viv with me today. Today we're going to talk about tacky catchphrases that actually help us succeed. So let's get started. Tacky catchphrase that helped me succeed. If not now, when?
That is so you. The highly efficient personality. You elaborate.
Okay, I think like it's not just the whole like things have to be done now. I think a lot of it is like because 21st century, like nowadays, we have so many options. We have social media and we look at other people doing so many things and you're like, wow, I can do this too, I can do that. But then a lot of the times people want to do things, but they're like, there's always a reason to not do it. And then they're gonna go through life and they just have all these wants and needs that they want, all these wants really that they want to do, but they never do it because there's this little voice in their head or people around them that will shit on that idea. You know what I mean? So it's the whole like, well, if you want to do something, you never really know what's gonna come out of it if you don't do it. And I think a lot of it doesn't mean to just go into any stupid decisions because we all have stupid like ideas all the time. And I think it's the whole like, okay, if you want to do something like, is it like try to apply for a new job, trying to aim for a new promotion, maybe you want to change your degree and all that kind of stuff, like you kind of want to think about, I think about it as like a pros and cons list. And I'm like, okay, if I do it, what am I going to gain out of it? And what I'm going to have to sacrifice or not get out of it, especially if it doesn't work out. And I think a lot of the times, if I'm okay with the cons, then I just do it. Does that kind of make sense? I think a lot of times we're all like so afraid of failure. We're so afraid of like
sacrificing.
Yeah, and then like losing things that they talk themselves out of doing it. But then if you're okay with losing it, like for example, if you wanna, like for us, like when we started a business, we're like, we're gonna chuck X amount of money into the business. If we lose the money, we lose the money. And I think we were okay with losing the money. That's why we did it. And then
And then here we are.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, especially in this time and age where things are moving so fast, it's almost like if you don't do it now, then you kind of lose that, like for example, if you want to jump on this trend and if you don't do it now, then the trend is going to die off because like we live in a fast-paced society nowadays. And so I think more than ever, this quote is quite important.
And I think a lot of it, like the coming back to the fast-paced thing and the whole like, you know, every phase of your life, something means a lot to you. Yeah. So if you don't do it in that phase of life, like for example, when you're 20s, you want to travel the world. Yeah. If you don't travel the world in your 20s and you're like, oh, let me save some money, like because I need to save for my future, I'll do it when I retire. Like you're not gonna enjoy like the same things in retirement. You're not gonna want to jump off a cliff in Bali when you're 60. You know what I mean? Whereas like in 20, you're like, oh yeah, I'll jump off that cliff. Yeah. Whereas so you won't enjoy it the way you would enjoy in your 20s. So like if you're happy with the cons and you're happy with the sacrifice, then I honestly think you should just do it.
100%. Okay. Tacky catchphrases that help you succeed. It's not about the destination, it's the journey.
I've heard that so many times from you.
I know, this is my OG quote. That's why I wanted to start with this one. Yeah. Because I think especially when you're younger, you always think about the destination. You're always like, when I'm a millionaire, big dreams, I'm going to be like here. If I'm like, once I have that business, I'm going to be like, you know, so happy and so like, you know, there. But then as you get older, you realize it's not actually about getting there. It's
once you get there, you're like, so what now?
Yeah, let's climb the next mountain. Yeah. And so I think it's really about the journey. I honestly do. Like I live by that quote. Like every day, whenever I have like a hard day or anything, I'm just like, it's the journey. Like you have to enjoy what you're doing. It's because then
otherwise, what's the point?
What's the point, right? So I think especially when we started So Fitness, a lot of the times I would just be like, even if this doesn't work out, I've gained so much from it.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
I would not regret anything because I've already won in a sense. And you can't just be so focused on the destination because it takes the joy out of what you're doing. So, and then you'll realize, you're like, once you get up to whatever goal you are at, you're like, actually, it's just like a temporary thing. Like it's a temporary high. Like for example, like if you're studying right now, on your graduation day, you're gonna be like, wow, this is like so great, I got my cert, but it's at the end of the day, it's just a day.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow you're going to be like, okay, what is my next thing? Yeah. But so it's really important that you do find something that you feel is like worthy of your time and effort. Yeah. Not about always being happy about it. Like not being like, oh, like this, like the journey has to always be like so like happy and like rainbows. It's not about that. It's really about like you find satisfaction, you find your purpose in doing it, you know why you're doing it. And I think that is so much more better than focusing on that rather than focusing on the ending.
Because what if you don't get there?
Yeah, and you might not get there. You might not be a millionaire. Oh my gosh.
That sounded really depressing for a second. But it's true, right? Because then if you're constantly reaching for a high, but you're never going to get that high because you don't know, right? Like things are so out of your control, then you might be like, oh my gosh, like the last 4 years was...
I've wasted.
I've wasted 4 years of my life. But actually, like whatever you gain out of that 4 years, you could use it for your
next 4 years.
your next project, the next 4 years.
I love that.
Tacky catchphrases that will help you succeed. There's a difference between interest and commitment. I'm going to elaborate on it. So if you're interested in something, you'll always have an excuse. You will only do it when it's convenient because you're only interested in it. But if you're committed to it, you're never gonna accept any excuses and you're never gonna accept anything else but success. Does that kind of make sense? Like I think a lot of that drives like high performers and they drive like people that want to succeed because like it's the same thing as like the catchphrase, right? Like the phrase of like you're never too busy, it's just priority. Yeah, because it's like, okay, like if you're only interested in something and you're not committed to something, you will not put it high on your priority list. Whereas if you're committed to something, you have to make it work. So you're going to do everything to make it work even more. And I think a lot of that I call it like it's either you want it or you don't want it enough. Yeah, because if you want it enough and you're so desperate for it,
you will make it work.
You will make it work, and things will work, and you will make sacrifice to
make it work.
Make it work, exactly. Like you know, because otherwise it's just like there's no one else is going to help you. I mean, there are people that are gonna be in the way to help you succeed, but if you don't want to succeed, and you don't drive it in yourself, nothing's ever gonna happen. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, so like whatever decision you make, you're always like, is this a commitment or is this just an interest? Like, is this worthy of my energy? Like right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, do I want it enough? Like, because a lot of times I say I want a lot of things. We all say we want a lot of things. But do I really want it enough though? Like, or I'm just saying it, you know? And I think a lot of times people say they want a lot of things and they keep saying they want a lot of things, but it doesn't really go anywhere. And I think as simple as stuff like we get emails all the time, you know, like, and when we start like, well, we get emails all the time, that's one thing. And two, I always have ideas of things that I want to do, you know, and then I would start the process of something, but then I would never follow up because it's not what I want enough right now. Like I feel like, okay, I want to start something, but it's not important for the business right now. So I'm not going to waste any more energy on it. Like, which in hindsight, probably shouldn't have started that email train. But, you know, I'm like, let's get it started. Yeah.
Tacky catchphrases that actually help you succeed. I get to do this, not I have to do this.
I get to do this, I don't have
Not I have to do this. Okay, so
I get it now.
This catchphrase, this tacky catchphrase helped me so much when I had to do those 6 a.m. classes. When we first started, we'll be working from like 6 a.m. till 7 p.m. And this helped me get through it so much. I keep telling myself that because I'll be like, this is an opportunity. You know what I mean, right?
I know what you mean. So for context, when we first started the business, It was just the two of us, and we're both instructors. So thank goodness we're both instructors. But what was happening is we had to teach 7 days a week because the studio had to open 7 days a week. And this girl was doing 6 a.m. start every morning. We were so adventurous every morning.
Like Monday to Friday.
Monday to
you
Friday.
man them weekends.
Yeah, and then the evening class will end at 7 on the weekday. And then I would teach the weekend.
But she's already worked Monday to Friday.
Yeah, I had a physio job from Monday to Friday. So I was working 7 days a week.
So it was hard. It was difficult. It wasn't
really difficult.
It wasn't easy. But
we were committed.
We were committed. I love that. We were committed. And then I would always, when I can't get up, I'm just like, no, like I get to do this. This is an opportunity. It's like I'm growing a business. It's not like I have to wake up. So it's just changing that conversation in your head, I think will help you, like will motivate you and help you do stuff that you don't want to do. Yeah, it kind of like bleeds into like that whole being grateful, gratitude kind of thing. So
but that's so important though, like mindset is so important.
Mindset.
And I think like having that positive mindset really reflects on like other people around you as well. Like I think a lot of times like yes, like the 6 a.m. wake up is so difficult, but they're the best clients because they also woke up crazy as early to do your class. So they're as committed as you are. So it's kind of true. You get to do this. Like you get to be there to help someone that also showed up for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite important.
Yeah, and then just learning to be grateful for this opportunity. It's like people like who say like have to wake up for a job or like even like or even like because I'm going into motherhood, it's just like you get an opportunity to care for a your child, not being like I have to like get up to make breakfast for them. I think that kind of really sucked your soul. But if you change that mindset, I think things will be a lot easier. Mental.
Yeah.
Tacky catchphrases that actually help you succeed. Great things in business are never done by one, but a team of great people. Looking at all the support team. It's so true because I actually heard this a few years back when one of an older lady. Shout out to Lena. If Lena's out there watching this, which she won't be. But so she, because of especially the type of business we are in, a service business, the boat can never sail based on one person. It's a whole team that that makes it happen. Actually, Steve Jobs said this.
Oh, really?
Because I can't 100% quote unquote, maybe he didn't say the exact words, but he had that. The same thought, like not one person created an iPhone. He had to have like a team of people that helped him. Yeah, he like sailed the ship. He was the one driving. He was the captain. But you do need a team, and I think it's so important. In another episode, you were talking about delegating. And it's so important to have that trust system and to build that community around you to help you reach your goal. Or like you can, like everyone to reach the same goal.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it with like the business, right? Like if we do well, everyone in the team will do well, you know? Because if we don't do well, then how do we pay bills?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
How do we pay bills?
So like I think when you want to create a successful something, don't always just be like, how do I do it? Like, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to trust other people, and just be kind to people around you, because they are going to be the one that we move together as a team.
Oh, that's so sweet.
What a sweet thing to finish on. But it's so true though, and I think you also felt that.
Yeah.
Like we have such a great team at the moment, and so I think that's what makes our job so fun each day, and that's what is making it happen. It's not just me, or it's not just you. It's just not just the both of us.
If it's just us, then we wouldn't have this. Like, you know, we won't be able to have
anything.
This space. That's one. Like anything. Like we would still be in our first studio, like a little pop out.
Yeah, you know, we'll still be working from 7 to 7.
No,
or 6 to 7. We'll be so like worn out.
Making coffee for people at 6 a.m. in the morning. We used to give free coffee to our morning people to thank them for coming for class.
Oh my god.
It's tacky catchphrases, but there is actually a meaning behind it, and I think like the ones that we talked about really resonate with us, and it really sticks really close to us. So if you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, share, and we will see you for another episode. Thank you.